What's up everybody? Pete back here with another video. Today we're going to be going over asymmetric versus symmetric equipment. We're going to be using Pearl versions of each. We're going to be going over when they look best, when to use them, and how these guys right here fit my game. Guys, as always, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit the notification bell. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Give me some predictions, give me some input, and let's see what these guys do. Let's get it. Alright guys, so like we said, we're going to be going over symmetric versus asymmetric equipment. I've got two of my better Pearl bowling balls here that are both asymmetric and symmetric, and we're going to see how those different cores affect these bowling balls as we are going through transition on the lanes. So, getting right into it, asymmetric versus symmetric. What does that mean? So when we're talking about that, we're talking about the cores that are inside the bowling balls. As always, pretty much every bowling ball has a core in it. Just because just about everyone has a core doesn't mean that those cores are similar to one another. So, how to best describe it? We're going to think of it pretty much, we're going to bring some physics into it. We're going to think about the earth. We're going to think about the wheels on our cars. We're going to think about how they roll and how they rotate. Anything that's round, just like the earth, and rotates, it's going to rotate on an axis. Bowling balls aren't any different from that. They rotate on an axis, and there's an indicator for us to determine how they're going to roll and how they are symmetric or asymmetric. So we're going to take our UC2 right here. Just as always, every bowling ball comes with a pin, comes with a center of gravity, and then as the UC2 has right here, we have a little marker down here. That's known as our mass bias. That mass bias helps indicate that this bowling ball is asymmetric. Now we've got our Zen. As always, we got our pin, we got our center of gravity, and as we go down, there's no mass bias indicator. So that means that that ball is our symmetric ball. So what does that mean? So if we were to take both of these bowling balls and split them right in half on their axis, we would see how the cores look. Now, if we were to look at those cores and cut them in half, on the UC2 being an asymmetric ball, those two halves of that core would then be uneven. They wouldn't be symmetrical to one another. Whereas we took the Zen, if we cut that ball in half and lined those cores up, they would be even and symmetrical to one another. So, as far as with the UC2 having that non-symmetric shape in the core, what's that mean? That's going to help that core, because it's uneven now, it's unstable, it's going to pick up into a roll and rev up a lot sooner than, say, the core would of our Zen, because the Zen is symmetrical. If you were to take the Zen's halves of the core, they'd be symmetric, they'd be stable to one another. So they will then roll a little bit more stable, and that would create a cleaner shape than compared to what the UC2 would have. So, well, we've got a burnt up condition up here at Brock's Bowl. We're going to take our asymmetric UC2 and pair it up with our symmetric Zen, and we're going to see how I combat transition with these two guys. Now, since the UC2 being my asymmetric piece, that ball is going to rev up a tad sooner and be a little bit stronger, and the fronts be a little earlier. So that ball, in my opinion, is going to look a little bit better as I'm still kind of further right. I'm going to be playing in some transition, obviously, but I'm going to start off kind of right and then migrate my way left. So the UC2 is probably going to look a little bit better from right, as where the Zen's probably still going to look okay too, but being that slightly cleaner cover and a little bit weaker core, being symmetric, I don't think it's going to look quite as good. It might be a little unstable compared to the UC2. But then as we get left, I think we're going to see I'm going to have the Zen look a lot better, because that symmetric core is going to give me a better look as I create more angle with the ball, because the symmetric core will then store some energy for the ball along with the Pearl cover. I'll get through the front a little bit cleaner and create a little bit more shape down lane as compared to the asymmetric core of the UC2, where again, that's going to read a little sooner. So as I'm further left with that ball is going to use up more energy as it revs up sooner. So it's probably not going to look quite as good from left. But we're going to go take the lanes and let the bowling do the talking for ourselves. So. So there, as we saw, those were our asymmetric versus symmetric pearl bowling balls. As kind of I thought, the UC2 being a little bit earlier and a little bit more forward, a little bit rounder compared to the Zen. The UC2 gave me a little bit of a better look when I was still right. The Zen did look good, but you guys saw by the way the UC2 carried, went through the pins. I was in a good spot with it when I was a little bit further right. And then as we got into the video and as we kept chasing it left, I feel like we kind of saw that the Zen started to look better. Now, why is that? The Zen, being that symmetric ball and not revving up quite as early as, say, the UC2 did, was able to get through the fronts a little bit easier and a little bit cleaner, had more energy. So as I moved left and I was creating a little bit more angle, the Zen was able to have more energy as it came off the back of the pattern and was able to get through the pins a little bit better as I got further left, as where the UC2, being the asym, was a little bit more forward, a little bit earlier, really kind of gave me a better look as I was still playing a little further right as the pair was breaking down. So those are our asym versus sym comparison with my pearl balls. These are the guys that I typically use as I'm first seeing transition in a situation like that. As you saw, the asym did a little bit better from a little further right. The Zen did a little bit better being the symmetric from as we got a little further in. Alright guys, so we're going to wrap up the video here now. Hit that like button again, hit the sub button, head to the comments guys, give me some input, give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys saw out of the video. Check out my other videos, give me some more ideas for some content for you guys. I got some more ideas for you guys, but the more input you guys give me, the more it'll help me. I want to keep bringing some more content for you, so I got some more planned in the future, but I can't do it without you guys. So again, as always, hit the like, hit the sub, notification bell, and as always guys, Pete Freezy, peace.